Right, it is that time again for Board Chats with Kenny on Impact Television. This is where we give you the best of basketball update. Today on the program, yes, it's a little bit different from the previous edition because I'm going to be having, just like you can see on your screen, Coach Ceasar Odera Adin. Yes, he's a basketball coach in the United States of America. Recently, he featured with the under-18 boys of Nigeria. He was part of the team. He was an associate coach with the team right there. They did a very good job. Today on the program, we'll be talking about his experience with the Tigers, Junior Tigers of Nigeria, how it went, and of course, why he wants to actually be a part of the growth of Nigerian basketball. Basically, that will be what we'll be talking about today on Board Chat with Kenny. So welcome aboard once again. I am Kenny Bamidele, and right now I've got Coach right here with me. How you doing?
Kenny, how you doing, man? Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to
Yeah,
be
I'm
here.
I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. How is basketball going over the United States?
Basketball's going well for me. Obviously, I just got back here to Maryland a couple weeks ago from South Africa with the national team. Right
Yeah.
now, we're getting our college basketball season going. So right now, we're in the middle of official practices, getting ready for the season that starts in November. So just a lot of getting familiar with our guys and getting ready for the college basketball season.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good. Now, just to get started and talk about your basketball journey as a basketball coach, I just want to ask, how has it been for you being a basketball coach for your team in the US? How's it going?
Oh, it's going well. It's going well. So this I'm going into my fourth year at UMBC here. I'm an assistant coach at UMBC here in Maryland. We competed in America East. Prior to that, I was at University of Kentucky for a couple of years with Coach Calipari and those guys on that staff. I was also at UMass in Massachusetts in A10 as well in my coaching career. So I've been in different spots in my young coaching career, but I'm very excited about what I do. I love what I do. And like I tell a lot of people, I don't work because I get to do what I love, which is coaching college basketball and helping kids ultimately achieve all their dreams, whether it's graduating or anything else that comes after that, playing professionally or whatever the case might be. So for me, coaching is one of those type of jobs where I say there's nothing like and
Yeah.
especially there's nothing like coaching basketball, in my opinion.
Now, what part of coaching do you find challenging? Because as much as you say this is what you love doing, at some point, you just say like, hey, what's happening? These are the things that you face. So can you just tell us about, the part of coaching that you find challenging?
Well, I feel like anything you do in life that's worth doing is going to be challenged to it.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
not saying coaches like the way I think about it, I'm not here curing diseases or cancer or doing brain surgery. There's police officers, people who are doing really, really, really hard stuff every day, people who are
yeah,
out there fighting wars. So I'm safe here in my space and being able to do this. So for me, there is obviously a lot of challenges that come with coaching.
yeah,
One is trying to find a way to bring the team together. That's
yeah.
always a challenge, and just different things that come in, especially now in college basketball, between the
Mhm.
transfer portal and NIL, which means kids are able to make money now. So there's definitely different challenges of coaching in general. But I think again, it's all about figuring out why are you doing what you do. I went into coaching because of my why, which is to help kids. So for me, having that why always helps you kind of navigate the challenging parts that come with coaching. But again, I don't think it's like again, I'm not here changing the world and anything. I'm changing the world with basketball, but there's obviously harder things
Yeah.
out there going on in the world.
Yeah, I get it. There's a lot of things happening right now, and you just have to keep doing what you're doing regardless.
Exactly.
But let's talk about the Nigerian basketball team, the J Tigers. You were part of the team. In fact, you were the associate coach with Coach Ribara right there. But just to ask you, how was the experience? First time being a part of, the national team basketball. How was the experience for you?
So it was definitely a great experience for me. This has been a lot of years in the making. I have
Yeah.
been like the last 4 or 5 years doing smaller things with the national team, putting together
Okay.
names for kids in the
Yeah.
states, different things like that. I've also had got a chance to get to know Coach Mike Brown, the past few years, who was obviously the Olympic head coach. I was able to kind of connect with him a couple of years ago, actually when I was at Stuyvesant University of Kentucky, trying to do some stuff with that team, getting ready for the Olympics. That didn't work out at that time, but being able to kind of build that connection then was great for me because then I built that connection up until today. Like he was shooting me texts while we were at the tournament, say, "Hey, I saw you guys won your first game," or whatever the case might be. Hey, good
Wow.
luck,
Yeah,
things
good,
like that. So that was
good.
really cool having that. And obviously, I would say through the last few years, I was able to have a build a relationship with Mr. Musa as well, the general manager of the federation. So having him in my corner the last few years, getting to know him, when this opportunity came here for the U18 team, so it wasn't like it was coming out of nowhere. There's been a lot
Yeah,
of groundwork laid towards this. But for me, it was a blessing. It was one of those experiences where it was my first time being back to Nigeria in a while, in a long time since I was
yeah,
a little kid. So being able to experience just being back in Lagos and Abuja, places like that was great.
yeah,
And just being able to work again, the best part about the experience is being able to work with the staff and being able to work with the players. And for me, like I've said to a lot of people since I've been back, it's like the biggest thing that separates kids from the States and kids in Nigeria is resources and opportunities. Because the talent in Africa is there. The talent is there. And for me, just it was an eye-opening experience being able to be there firsthand and have my foot on the ground, 10 toes down in Lagos and Abuja in South Africa, seeing what these kids are able to do. And obviously there's ups and downs, there's highs and lows with any situation, whether it's basketball in the States or basketball in Nigeria. And for me, I just want to be part of the next phase of Nigerian basketball, be able to help these kids and help the federation to achieve levels that I know that we can do. It's just being able to kind
yeah.
of have foots on the ground and build off of that every single day.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. I'm happy to hear that you had a very nice experience with the national team, and the truth is, there's still a long way to go. And as much as we talk about some of the challenges we face in Nigerian basketball, I mean, we have a good side, and you just mentioned the talent level that we have, the pool of talent in Nigeria. What separates us from
Absolutely.
the US is the facilities they've got right there. Should we work on the facilities, it means that basketball will get better in Nigeria right there. And that's a very good one coming from Coach Ceasar Odera Adim right there. All right, you're still watching Ball Chat with Kenny on Impact Television, definitely one of the biggest basketball program in the country. And right now we're discussing about just the career of Coach Odera Adim, talking about his experience and how it unfolded with the J Tigers of Nigeria at the Under 18 AfroBasket Championship right there. Now let's talk about how the federation actually treated the boys. For you, what do you think about the treatment overall from the federation, from start to the end? I mean, during the tournament, how did it go from the federation?
I think for me, this is my first time actually being on foot with the grounds of the Federation.
Yeah,
But for me, starting with our team manager, Ade, he was a guy that I got to meet once I got started working with the team. He was
yeah,
great. He helped us with everything we needed, whether it was traveling, the food, different things like that. He was our particular team manager. And then you have
yeah,
obviously Mr. Musa, who's the general manager, and Mr. Ugo, who's the team delegation. I think, like I said, in every situation there is, whether it's basketball and Nigerian basketball in the States,
yeah,
there is ups and downs. So
yeah,
that within the different situations, I think that all the boys were definitely treated fairly. And what from what I could see on a day to day, but like I said, there's ups and downs throughout every situation. And for me, I want to be part of the next step of Nigerian basketball. I want to be part of the progress. I want to be like my goal after seeing those kids is like when I was leaving, I was like, how can I help? These kids deserve to have an opportunity to play basketball at the highest level, whatever opportunity that is. Like whether it's Ezekiel in our team, Aziz, who's our point guard. You got Favor eBay, who's here in Mount Zion. You have Ugonda, who's plays for the NBA Academy. There's so much talent and so much abilities for these kids that I think I want to be part of the progress and helping get these kids to the next level. Because, like I said to you from the beginning, and from our conversation, it's like the talent is there, and we just have to find a way to all come together and be able to kind of help keep pushing the federation, Nigerian basketball in the right direction.
it's important to keep pushing the federation right there. Now, looking at the way forward, now this is an age grade competition. And one of the challenge we face in Nigeria is transition from the young team to the senior team right there. I know what with the quality you've actually seen in these players. Do you think these players are good enough to maybe one day play for the senior men's basketball team?
Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. Like I said, we had a team that didn't have a lot of practices together. A team that
Yeah,
again I only practiced with the team a few number of times, and we made a lot of progress in the 3 weeks we were together. A ton of progress, offensively and defensively, and so many different things.
yeah,
I have no doubt in my mind, and even I haven't mentioned this to a lot of people within the team and things like that. Our goal should be that this we should at least have two or three kids on this team who
yeah,
are future senior team members easily. And I think for me, I think just that's one of the most important things for us going forward is being able to kind of streamline that process where you're building a very young junior team that is going to be feeding into the senior teams. So now you're not going to look for 10 different guys. You already got a core group of team players who already
yeah,
built through the foundation of what the federation is about, and now want to go represent their national team at the highest level. So for
yeah.
me, I think there's definitely a lot of guys who have a chance to be on the senior national team, whether in the future or in the very very near future, in my opinion.
Oh, that's very good. And now, what are your advice for the young talent? Because when they get the chance to play in the college or maybe Eurobasket and all of that, some of them do not really perform up to the standard right there. What can you say to them in order to be ready when that big platform comes for them?
Well, the biggest thing, Kenny, like I always say to kids, is you have to be you have to be ready for when the opportunity comes because you never know when the opportunity is going to come. And when that
Yeah,
opportunity comes, you want to make sure that you put yourself in the best situation to be ready for that opportunity. And the second thing is you have to be honest with yourself and be a star in your role. You have to be a star in what you do best. You know what I mean? So for me, no matter whether it is going to the Division 1 level or going to Euro
yeah,
League or going anywhere, you have to know what you are and know things that you have to work on and
yeah,
be able to be a star in that role when that opportunity comes. And for me, like I always say to kids, even the kids I was just with our in Nigeria, the junior national team, you have to dream big, man. You have to dream big. You have to dream big because if I could do it, you could
yeah,
do it. But if there's just the opportunities are out there. But the first part is just dreaming. You have to be able to dream big.
yeah,
Even though you might be playing outside right now where it's raining, oh crap, you got to go mop out the court outside before you go play a game, or you're in the court and then the lights goes off. And because I know I was just in Nigeria, so I know what the day to day is like for these kids. So for me,
yeah,
the biggest part is that I want them to. I was just so energized from being back home is that I want them to look at me and say, you know what, I could do it. No matter what it is that I want to do, I can
yeah.
do it. I could do it. So my biggest thing for kids, whoever sees this, whether you're 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, dream big, man. You have to be able to dream big because you could do it. You just have to be able to put
Yeah.
your mind and your soul into it, and you're going to be able to achieve anything in this world you want to achieve, in my opinion. Because again, I've seen it, and I'm not even where I want to be. My goals and dreams and aspirations keep growing each day, but I know that you have to dream big to be able to get wherever you want to get, and also you have to be intentional about what you want to get and what you want to do. So when that opportunity comes, you're able to seize it and go to the highest level from there.
Okay, now there's this perception that when it comes to eighth grade competition, the objective is not to win. Instead, the objective is to produce talent that will represent the country with a senior team years to come. Do you think so that eighth grade competition's objective should not be just to win? Do you think so?
The ultimate, there's two parts of the goal. The goal for development programs and junior team is to obviously you have to keep working on the right things and building talented kids to keep growing their skills to be able to kind of navigate and grow as players and as people. But for me, winning is also a part of that. You have
Okay.
to be able to put together a team that's going to be able to win and compete
Yeah.
and represent the nation at the highest level, whatever level that is. I'll tell you one thing. I was just with the
Okay.
U18 team, and those kids were crying after the game. They were devastated to lose. So was the coaches, and so was I. So for me, if you're going into any competition and you're not trying to win, then I don't know. You shouldn't be at the competition if you don't want to
Okay.
win. That's how I look at things. But at the same time, you don't lose the aspect of being able to grow the talent and the skill of the players at the same time, because the ultimate goal for these young kids is to be able to get them to where they need to be at and to be able to compete at the highest level, as whether it's Division 1 players or playing in the States, playing in EuroLeague or whatever the case might be, and ultimately, obviously, competing to help the national team at the senior level. So for me, I think it's a two-part. The goal is to get our players developed and coached up to be able to be ready to do whatever they need to do in life. But secondly, Kenny, we're here to win. This is not just you should be here to win at anything you do, in my opinion. So like I said, the team I was just coaching, those guys were not happy to just lose. I think with obviously more time and preparation and practice and different things like that, you could have so many different things that you could have done more to be able to be ready to compete to win a championship at that level. But I came there to win. That's what I always come to do. So for me, you want to win, but you also want to take your guys to the highest level. They can keep growing
Yeah.
as human beings and as basketball players.
And what do you think about I mean, the Nigerian Basketball Federation overall? Because Nigerians believe that, well, the federation needs to do more in taking basketball serious and all of that. And it's been a lot of, takes, a lot of blames on the Basketball Federation. But with the few weeks spent with the federation, what do you think they can do in order to do better? And what are your words, for Nigerians right now as regards the Basketball Federation?
Yeah. So Kenny, what I would say is obviously I live in the state. My parents are Nigerian, grew up in Nigeria. I live in the States now and been here for a while. So I'm not in the weeds of the day-to-day politics of Nigeria. Obviously, outside looking in, it's a lot of different parts of it. But for me, what the way I try to look at it is that the kids for the junior team and the players always have to be the most important thing in everything we do
Okay.
as a team and as a federation, whatever the case might be. So for me, it's sitting back and thinking whether it's minister, whatever, whoever is making the big decisions.
Yeah.
What can we do best for these players? How can we
Okay.
give them the most things they need to be able to compete at the highest level
Yeah.
to successfully be able to represent Nigeria the way it's supposed to be represented? So in all different aspects of that should be the biggest focus and the goal of how the federation, I think, are looking at things and should be looking at things more as well. So if there's ways that we could help improve the players' lives, the ways we could help keep driving African
Yeah.
sports, African basketball to the highest level it
Mhm.
can be, I think everyone should be on the same page for that, to be able to find the best way to be able to get the most for these kids to be able to get to the next level and represent the federation, represent the nation at the highest level. And I'll say a lot of people were following us in Nigeria, or when I was in South Africa from Nigeria. People were excited. People wanted to see Nigeria, you know what I mean, compete at the highest level and win.
Yeah.
And big shout out to our girls team, U18. They got silver medal at the
Yeah.
tournament. That's a big deal. That's a big
Yeah.
deal. So for
Yeah.
me, those girls were happy. They were excited. They were now they're gonna have a chance to be able to go to Switzerland in a couple of months
Yeah.
and for
Yeah.
a world championship. How cool is that? How cool is that for 16,
Yeah.
17, 18-year-old girls from Nigeria? Some from the States, but yeah, some but for me, that always should be the forefront of everything we do as a federation.
Yeah.
Like for me, being here for the first time with the federation as associate head coach, I know and hope this is not going to be my last time with the federation and with the team
Yeah.
because I know the potential of where we're going to be able to go with this, and I want to be part of the teams that come next year, the year after that. I want to be part of the team. Hopefully, we're in the Olympics in 4 years, getting ready to go compete against the
Yeah.
world. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm looking at the big picture. I'm not a type of person who tries to look behind and look backward, to point fingers, whatever the case might be. I know
Right.
every day what can I do every day to bring the most to these kids, especially these kids in Africa and the kids in Nigeria, because I'm African and Nigerian. And that's why
All
I
right.
came. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sure.
Yeah. That's why I came to go work with the national team. And that's what I hope to keep building with the national team and the federation going forward. No
Of
doubt in my
course.
mind.
Of course. I must say you've said a whole lot, and I believe that with what you've said and you having the chance, things will get better. Things will get a lot better because we need to make the young ones understand that, see, as much as we don't have the facilities, you have to make use of what you have at the end of the day because the chance will come. Just keep putting in the work, and that's just what matters at the end of the day. Thank you very much, Coach Odera, for joining me today on the Board Chat Weekend. It's a great pleasure having you on the program.
Nah, Kenny, it's been great to be here, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. Again, from being back home and then getting to connect with you and talk about this stuff, and now being able to kind of sit here and talk about an interview and have this conversation again for a
Yeah.
kid from Anambra, Onitsha in Nigeria to Roxbury, Massachusetts, and the States.
Oh, you're
And
from Anambra.
yeah, yeah, yep. And to go through a career-ending injury at 16 years old to
Yeah.
now be my age at 26, about to be 27, to be doing what I'm doing now. I could not have imagined this in 100 million years. And I thought I was going to go play basketball and do all this stuff and that I had
Yeah.
to go to do as a
Yeah.
Division One basketball player and an athlete and things like that. But God didn't have that in my plan. So to
Yeah.
kind of think back to what I've been through and who I am and
Hmm.
how I've got to where I am today and
Yeah.
having a chance, like I said, to be an associate head coach of the national team and a 26-year-old assistant coach in the United States. Thinking back to all the stuff I've been through in my life, it's a blessing and it's an honor. It always reminds me when I'm able to do things like this and talk to people about just my career and basketball and different things. So for me, it's always an honor to be able to have these type of conversations. An honor to get to talk with you. I appreciate you
Yeah.
taking your time, and I hope we keep building from you. And
Yeah.
again, be back with the national team to do some great things.
Of course, of course. I mean, great one, great one. And great story, by the way. Great story, by the way. I never knew from Anambra. I have friends from Anambra State. They are very good people. And yeah, yeah, very, very good people from Anambra State. And it's good to know you're from that part of the country. The way.
Ah.
Are you gonna marry from Anambra though?
We'll see. But no, no, I'm happy. We'll see. I don't know
All
how
right,
my
no
girl
problem.
feels about that.
Oh, no problem. I just had to ask that. Nothing serious. I just had to ask that question though. No problem. Thank you very much once again.
All right.